Hello, this is Patrick from XPression. I'd like to show you how to set up users and user groups in XPression Project Server. So here I'm working with the XPression Project Server Manager. I'm going to go ahead and log in by clicking Server and then Connect. And when the dialog box comes in, I'm going to log in as the administrative user. Now, I want to add users and I want to add user roles. So let's go back and just walk through this quickly. I'm going to go to the object browser. I'm going to click on User. And I want to add a new user. I'm going to right click in the area below the names that are already there. And when I right click, one of my choices is New. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself in here. I'm going to put my password in. You can't see it. And I'm going to just leave the basic information in. Now, I can go in here and I can add a user to a role. So I'm going to leave that alone for the moment because I want you to see what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to click OK because I'm going to go and click and create a new user group. So I'm going to go ahead and click on User Roles and Groups. And again, I'm come down to the white space below it. I'm going to click on New. And I'm going to create a group. And I'm going to call it, of all things, Patrick. I'm going to call it Test Accounts. Now let's talk about the rights here. This should be straightforward to you, but just in case it's not, let's go over them quickly. I've got my first choice here, which is Deploy Projects. Again, that's an expression that means I'm going to deploy or open the project from Project Server and play it out on my engine. Publish. Publish projects, that's relating to if I have a project on my XPression system and I would like to put it into the Project Server. Modify styles. I have styles inside of my XPression project and I liken those to being shows in sub-shows. So for example, 11 p.m. news, weekday, weekend, or news, morning and evening news. I can modify shows. So in other words, I can have that there. We also refer to those as categories and names, but you'd be able to modify those titles. Sync shows. This is when you work with if you have more than 2 project servers connected and you want to synchronize content from one project server to another, you synchronize the shows, and this would allow you to synchronize that. An administrator is pretty straightforward, but you would think it's just the administrator for the local account, but it's really a global super user for everything. I only check this for users that I want to have administrative access over the entire box. So I'm going to do this first. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make this a deploy projects. And that's all that this is going to get. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to go back to my users and I'm going to find Patrick and I'm going to either right click and edit. I could also have just double clicked on it. I'm going to add this one to the Patrick account and say OK. Now, I created a show a little bit ago called Ross News 2023. So I'm going to go find that in my list here and you can see I've got everything in here. And there's Ross News 2023. And I'm going to come down to the authorized user groups and I'm going to add a user. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose add. And I'm going to go and find Patrick. And I'm going to choose assign. And that puts this into the show authorized roles and groups. And I'm going to click OK. So let's go back over into my XPression software now. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deploy a project. Now, I need to do one thing here. I've got myself with an account here. I'm going to put my other one in, the one I just made. All right, I should only see one show, and there it is. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deploy it. And it's going to ask me where I want to deploy this project. And I'm going to tell it where I'm going to push it. I'm going to put it to the same place I'm putting everything else. And again, this is just me working here. I'm going to put my project server deploy folder. I'm going to select that folder and I'm going to tell it to open the project after deployment and I'm going to push deploy. Now this is going to take a minute, so I'm going to speed this up for us. Okay, so now that's deployed the project. I'm going to click close. And again, notice I've got open project after deployment checked here. So I'm going to close the project. I'm going to get rid of the other project I had up on screen and you're going to watch it actually load the project on my XPression engine. Now, this is a pretty big project here, and I'm going to be happy with this. So let's say perfect. Now, I've done my show. I'm all done for the day. I want to push it back to the project server. So I'm going to go to File, Project Server, Publish, and log in as me. And what I want you to know, as soon as I do that, I'm going to get an account warning saying that this account does not have the required rights to publish. So I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to ask myself quickly, why is that? Well, let's go back to the project server and let's take a look. In the user group, Patrick, I edit that. I only have the right to deploy projects. I cannot publish projects. So any user that's in this group called Patrick cannot deploy, or I'm sorry, can only deploy projects. They can't publish, they can't modify, they can't do anything else. So if I was now to go back and add the publish projects rights to it and go back into XPression and try again, guess what? It's going to let me publish it. So this is how you publish projects with the rights to it, and this is how you control what the users can do. And you've now seen what happened here. I gave myself publishing rights, and again, your administrator normally should do this. You shouldn't do this for yourself, but this shows how you can use the user rights, the user role-based access control and the user accounts to set things up for publish and deploy inside Project Server.